Uh-oh.
This one.
Oh. Whoa.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Membriash. We're about to watch what is probably going to be an extremely infuriating reunion where no questions get asked, no answers are given, and we see a bunch of people gaslight each other and us.
It's a Netflix reunion.
Yeah, and which is what we've been told. So I actually appreciate there weren't really any spoilers. There were a couple of things
Good job, man.
Yeah, great job, man.
That's
when we
impressive.
first started this channel, I was like, I'm gonna have to like not check comments and stuff because like people are gonna spoil. Nobody spoils, like pretty much ever.
That's because we watch TV with the best people.
I know, and that is actually part of the community. Is like that people that come here and watch our channel is
so cool,
awesome,
the best,
over and
so
over again.
cool.
It's literally though like our only like social outlet.
No, I love it. I just
And
feel
it
really
feels
lame when I'm
rewarding.
like cool.
Yeah,
You guys are so cool.
It's so cool. This channel is crazy.
It's crazy. We've been watching too much Love Island, so we just keep saying everything is crazy.
Should we hop in?
No.
Oh no.
No, because aren't we supposed to say what questions we want them to answer?
No, we can do that after, because we don't even know what questions they're going to ask yet. There's probably none. But let's just think about it while we watch it. Some of them will come up as we go, and then at the end, if we
Okay,
feel
but
like we
can
missed
I
anything,
say
that's
one
in my
now
head, and
because
that's in
I
your
have
head.
one already?
Please hit us.
I need to know. Okay, this is a question for Mel and Dana. You both seemed to be very adamant with your partners that you had not engaged in sexual relations with each other.
Yes.
Sexual contact with each other. But we heard the moaning. What was the moaning about? How do you explain the if not sex, why sex sounds? That's my question.
Okay.
Do you not have that question? I have that question. Okay, and I have another question. To Megan. To
Megan.
Megan. Why were you so upset that Dana didn't acknowledge you in public, but then you you thought it was appropriate to not acknowledge Haley in public, and then you were mad that she was mad about it? What in the hypocrisy is
What
that?
the hypocrisy is going on? These questions. Wow, you should be a journalist. Honestly, journalists don't ask good questions anymore either, so you're probably doing a better job.
This is my audition tape to run the next Netflix Ultimatum reunion. So.
What in the hypocrisy is that? Okay.
Will I sound drunk? Yes.
Will you be drunk? No.
No, just tired.
Just tired? Okay, we're going in.
Welcome to the Ultimatum Queer Love Season 2 reunion.
Somebody said something about how, like, if they asked real questions, nobody would show up to reunions. Which is honestly, like, maybe kind of accurate.
Nope.
Contractual
Make them
obligation.
contractually obligated. Otherwise, they don't get their full payment.
That's true. We've seen people on Love is Blind come in and get dragged and fight with the hosts.
Bravo. Look at Bravo reunions.
Yeah.
They all show up, and
They
they're
have to.
horrible.
Yeah, that's true.
They know they're going to be bad, and they show up, and they get asked the questions. I have some beef with Andy Cohen, but I don't have beef with him about the way he
handles
asks
questions
at reunions.
He's like when it comes to those moments, I think that he's like a human watching and being like, what the heck is wrong with you?
Do you know what else he does? And
Yeah.
they don't do it well on this, but he will ask questions that people have asked on like Twitter and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it makes him seem more safe because he's like, someone asked this question. It wasn't me, but somebody asked this question.
But
You
I'm
know
really
what I mean?
curious too.
Right.
Yeah.
This season ended in an unprecedented 5 out of 6 couples taking the leap and getting engaged.
You have to remember, it has been a year.
I don't give a fuck what you have to say.
We leaned into it. We all had deep and meaningful connections.
Absolutely.
Shut up, man. Why are they like,
I don't want to hear them talk.
stop it. Why are you talking? Stop it.
I'm not in a place where I need to cut you or cut this, like what happened, because that's just not where we're at.
Yeah.
Well, then we left too much time post-show until the reunion, because what I want to see is for some heads to roll, man. I don't want all nice. Some
I'm
people
already
were not
mad.
nice on the show. Let's hold them a little accountable at the reunion. This is our only opportunity.
People act like accountability is damage when what is accountability is rooted in love. Like if you don't try and hold people accountable, it's like you don't have time for them. Like they don't matter in your life. Like when you try to hold somebody accountable, you're saying like I want you to be a better person.
Yeah, I
And when we
agree.
don't hold people accountable, we're saying I don't give a fuck if you're a piece of shit.
Right.
Go do you.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree.
Watching your love story just grow, I felt like it was really heartwarming.
I don't even know what this host's name is.
Petition for a queer host. It's not, I don't dislike this lady. I just, we need a queer host for a queer show.
A queer couple for a queer couple show.
Please, please, God, there are queer couples out there.
I'm being real honest and frank here.
Where's Marie? Is Marie not there?
Marie's there. I saw her face. She looked upset.
Oh, well, yeah, I'd be upset if I was Marie too. And then to hear Pilar be like, "It's been a year," and Marie's like,
"Water under the bridge." I know that she's forgiving,
me.
but like sometimes don't.
Right.
Like.
Also, like, you can't forgive people for other people, right? Like, Marie's still allowed to be mad.
She knows she wants to marry AJ. Where does that leave AJ?
I didn't notice her talking about it herself in the third person, and I think it's a shame they didn't include more of this in the show.
I don't think they showed a lot of that.
That's what makes AJ, AJ.
I love when people talk about themselves in the third person.
Yeah.
Do you feel that AJ was a little too forward during dating week?
Yes. 10 out of 10.
No.
Marie, like, shook her head.
So stupid. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to hold AJ accountable for
Are you
flirty
kidding
during
me?
dating week. Get over it.
It's a little odd to me, but that's just like my own mind where I don't understand it.
Yeah, because Ashley, you're not flirty with anyone ever at any time, even the person you were in a relationship with. So, of course, you don't get it. Let it go.
It's just like every conversation AJ had with everybody was just, it was very like sexual.
We're calling AJ sexual now. After what happened on this season.
This is going to piss me off, man.
I feel like AJ was being AJ.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
AJ, just leave AJ alone, okay?
Brittany doesn't have a problem.
No.
Y'all chill.
If AJ doesn't have a problem, Brittany doesn't have a problem, then let it the fuck go.
Like, people show up differently. Why are we acting like what she's doing was toxic when we have real toxicity happening on the show and other people and couples?
It feels very stupid to have this, like,
the fact
even
that it's
be
even
a topic of conversation.
Yeah, the fact that it's even a question.
It's so stupid.
I'm pissed about it.
I'm pissed about it, too.
I gotta work on that.
No, you don't. You don't have to work on shit, okay? Not compared to the rest of the people on this damn show.
I just don't care. Like, I'm not going to sit here and, like fine-tune comb her behavior when everything else happens.
Do you think that AJ could have done more for you as a trial wife?
AJ did the best that AJ could.
Oh, Marie's just mad.
Is Marie sitting by herself right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Is that what you
More
want?
space?
A relationship outside?
Yeah, we
You
live
want to
20
be my
minutes down the
friend?
street.
No, whoa, what's that face, Britt?
What?
Why is
Marie, focus your anger in the appropriate place, okay?
I can see where the switch flipped for you. This one AJ shared with you that she saw me when I was literally losing my freaking mind.
Which we all agree, by the way, was a good idea. We all agree we wish our partner would do these things.
The rest of the cast agreed, too. If my partner needed something, I would help him out.
Right.
You felt like AJ wasn't there for you.
I also don't think that AJ being there for Britney in the middle of the night means that she wasn't there for Marie.
Yeah.
Like, that, those things don't seem mutually exclusive to me.
Marie's energy's weird here.
I think she's mad at Mel, and I think it's
And then
coming
she's
out
gonna
at
take it
everybody.
off on everybody else.
Honestly, I show up like this sometimes. Like, if I'm mad, it's hard to find the origin sometimes, and I feel like that's what's happening. And it's a shame because I feel like then I hope this doesn't mean that Mel and Dana and Megan can push anything back on Marie because I feel like they're gonna try.
She probably felt abandoned and stuff and didn't have someone to talk to because you two were always together sneaking around.
Sneaking around? Microaggressions are off the chart, dude.
This is annoying.
This whole season's annoying. Queer Ultimatum Microaggression Edition. Like,
Queer Ultimatum, I'm gonna be mad at AJ and Britney for
what?
Literally nothing, and then we're not gonna hold anybody else accountable.
I think you're holding a grudge towards us just because AJ saw me at a time that I was vulnerable and needed her.
They all sat at a fucking cocktail party and they all said, I would be there if my partner needed me. And that was literally something that they leveraged against other people.
But we're going to attack AJ for doing that,
AJ
for actually doing it.
Right. Your life, you don't turn off all your freaking feelings. You don't turn off everything because you're on a TV show.
There's a lot in me right now, which anybody who watched episodes 1 to 9 will understand why.
Yes.
I do think part of this is probably because she's had to deal with Mel over the past year, gaslighting her, and I think that she's just kind of done taking any bullshit.
I agree. So she wants a fight, and this is the first fight. I just hope she brings this kind of smoke for other situations, and it's not just AJ and Britney.
So do you guys have a wedding date?
Not yet. No wedding date.
Totally realistic. Take your time. Oh, I'm happy that they're still together,
Yeah.
and they seem really happy together. sucks that they have to show up for each other and like support each other through like bullshit from the other cast members.
Yeah.
Because there should be no drama there. There's no drama with AJ and Britney.
Are you
Can we
kidding
just
me?
say that? There's no drama.
That's manufactured drama. Is what that is.
Absolutely.
If we're gonna sit there and like laser focus in at their imperfections, everybody's imperfect here. So I expect that same kind of fire for every motherfucker here. In fact, I expect a lot more because most of these people did a whole lot more bullshit.
When Ashley and I split, I was heartbroken and I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to feel.
I think so. Marie just scoffed while Marita was talking to you. I think Marie is just pissed, man.
Yeah,
Like, I think
yeah.
Marie is just done and it's coming out at everyone.
Well,
but I think the anger she
yeah.
has is for Mel and Dana.
I hear that. I felt like it was again like a gang up on AJ though.
Yeah.
It was like every person there.
Let's talk about the fact that my grandfather was dying
Uh-oh.
and this one
This one.
was cheating on me.
Whoa.
If you guys aren't together, she's allowed to do whatever she wants.
Okay, Marie, you do not need to insert yourself. Marie, don't insert yourself, girl.
I don't know why you're the one that's facilitating this conversation.
Yeah. Well, because Marie's mad. Marie wants to fight.
The problem though is like Marie doesn't need to take her shit out on every other person around her.
You want to count the times you cheated on me? Because I can name 5 right now.
That's
Uh-oh. Everyone's cheating on everybody.
I actually
nothing but
fucking
respect
hate
you.
you.
Oh, I fucking hate you. Oh, no. I fucking hate you. Oh,
shit.
no.
No, my grandma's dying right now.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, you don't care? Whoa. My God. You don't care. That's
Yeah,
horrible.
get out.
No,
my
Marita.
God.
No. Marita needs a timeout. Oh, Mel.
Oh, Mel.
Sit down,
Let's
Mel.
not act like we give a shit about people, Mel.
Ugh, gross. No. Marita's behavior, not okay.
Yeah.
And that wasn't nice.
That wasn't nice.
Sorry I didn't cheat on someone while her grandfather was
I'm
killed.
sorry I didn't cheat on someone either, babe. Let's simmer.
You
Maria's
simmer,
being
Marie.
really controlling. Marie, calm down.
What the F, dude?
Although what Marita said was bullshit.
Wild.
Yes.
But Marie is not the
okay.
facilitator, and this is actually a perfect example of there's such a lack of leadership at this facilitated event that Marie, who is in a deep emotional state and is attacking people, is the one that's half facilitating this.
Yeah,
right now.
well, I think
and that's problematic.
This is the host problem.
This is that's a
truly.
massive host problem. The fact that Marie's facilitating this much conversation.
Because there are plenty of hosts that would not have accepted that.
Yeah.
Bridget, Ashley, and Kyle had that conversation. I didn't know that you were convincing Ashley to reverse the ultimatum on me.
Wait, what? Who convinced who? What? The convince? What? What is she talking about?
I don't know.
Did we see that?
There's so many times I cried about like the thought of losing you.
Kyle looks like she wants to go someplace else.
Honestly, I don't think Kyle is in this bullshit. Kyle doesn't seem like much of like a drama, like
Yeah.
shit stir. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like Kyle's vibe at all.
She wants to just go like do art in a
Right.
fucking like
Kyle's like, can I please
weird
be done
studio
with this
and-
situation?
yeah.
Like, why did I show up for this?
Why
in the
am I
first
here?
place?
I was absolutely fully in love with you.
I'm seeing it got really toxic, and the fucking screaming back and forth and stuff is just like a real sign that like please don't even be friends probably at this point.
I don't know, man. I think Marina needs to think about the way she's speaking to people.
Yeah, that was
Because I don't
pretty
know
gross.
that I would speak to like there are some people I hate, very few, but there's some people I hate. I don't know that I would speak to them like that.
Yeah, like I'm glad your grandma's fucking dead kind of
Like
crap.
I don't
like,
care that like
Yeah.
your grandparent is died. I don't think I would say that to anyone, and
That
definitely
sucks.
don't need to be saying it to somebody that you like.
the finality
were
of
once in love
death
with.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
don't
not.
do that.
It's not great.
I'm glad that you at least got to say some things today that hopefully led to some healing.
You're glad that she yelled, "I fucking hate you," and I don't care that your grandmother's dying.
Yeah, I'm
What?
sure that brought greater understanding for each other.
So Mel, can you share the status of your relationship with Marie?
Before we get into that, I have a question.
Marie is running this reunion.
I know, right?
Maria's like, this is my reunion now.
Did you and Mel hook up before sitting next to me and talking to me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we had kissed.
Kissed. Dana. Dana. I don't believe that.
Like seeing your pain was really like genuinely so hard.
Oh yeah, she's so empathetic.
yeah.
And like the guilt that I feel.
Dana's been rehearsing this for months. She's a bullshitter. Nothing she says is truth. I don't believe a single word coming out of Dana's mouth.
I don't either.
And she's doing pacifying voice. This is fake accountability that people use in order to like rope people in.
She's not answering the question. Not really.
It wasn't fair to you, and I'm so sorry.
Don't believe it.
The question was, what happened with us?
Oh, you didn't want to be with me anymore?
No shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
I broke up with her, ironically enough, before the
Good.
episodes.
I'm happy for Marie.
Yeah, it is ironic that it's before.
How embarrassing would that have been?
None of
Before
it is
the
embarrassing.
episodes,
Listen,
she said?
how embarrassing. None of it was embarrassing
Yeah, it's
for
not your
Marie.
fault. It's not your fault,
not
Marie.
Marie's fault the way that things happen. I understand why it would feel embarrassing, but it is embarrassing for Mel and Dana. It should not be embarrassing for Marie.
Now that I'm slightly triggered.
Slightly.
Slightly.
What is up with you and those Brussels sprouts? What was your issue? Why would you make those?
Brussels sprouts.
Dana, did you like those Brussels sprouts?
Marie, I promise I didn't listen to
Patty's
that.
like,
But-
what?
Did you
I
watch
not
the
know?
episodes?
I don't understand the I watched the episodes.
I like
don't
a good
remember the
Brussels sprout, but like,
Serious?
Brussels sprouts, bro. There's
Who
way
taught you how to
bigger
make those?
Why are we talking about Brussels sprouts? There's so much other stuff. They fucked and lied about it. Can we
I
talk
know.
about that?
To your face.
Haley, is the Spotify playlist the receipt?
Obviously.
Let's take a look at the investigation behind the alleged proof.
Come on, dude. This is what we're doing? No, what's the receipt is the moaning. The moaning and the panting are the
I
receipts.
know, dude.
We don't care about the Spotify playlist anymore because there were actual receipts.
I'm very glad I'm single right now. I'm just going to say that.
I want to hear it.
What a piece of shit.
I know, because she wasn't sad,
And we're all laughing about this because they fucking lied and they hooked up.
right?
If that was a sex place, it was the saddest one ever because they were all like heartbreak songs, love songs. Like
They're so committed to the lie. We know that you're lying. Stop it.
one wasn't your place, two is insane.
You want
That's
to talk
not
about
insane.
Were
had
you
your
or
own
were you
shit
not
going on
doing
for you
things
to
though?
They were doing
Marie,
things. They
Marie.
were doing things.
It was probably the wrong word for it, and I should not have reiterated the words proof.
And here we have Haley being the only person that can take accountability here.
If I have suspicions of it, I think that it is my place to tell my friend.
Agreed.
I agree.
Marie's
Yeah.
here for Haley right now because she's like,
Yeah.
y'all are bullshit.
Well, they're attacking Dana,
Yeah.
and her minions are going to attack anybody
Yeah.
for whatever.
Me and Mel, we did not have sex in that way. We did not finger each other. We did not do anything like that.
This reeks of bullshit.
Is this bullshit?
Play the tape to them and say, what is this then?
This is
Please
just,
describe the event that is happening here, which is way too invasive, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But what did we hear?
I know.
If that isn't, they did nothing?
She lied off of a technicality on what sex means.
and if there's a
They were looking at
technicality
each
like
other?
that, then say what it actually is so that you're not living
Yeah.
in a world of technicalities and
Yeah.
your partner actually knows what you did with that other person.
This is some Bill Clinton ass bullshit.
It is Bill Clinton ass bullshit. It is.
It is.
It is.
It is.
It's honestly no one's business.
It is, though. You made it people's business by lying about it on national
Yeah.
TV. It wasn't anyone's business, and then you lied to a bunch of people publicly.
And now she's sitting here saying it's not your business when you've made it other people's. But you made it other people's business. What fucking Megan and Haley did
Totally.
repeatedly.
Totally. But this is a step too far.
This is a step too far
Everything
'cause
else
it's about
for
her.
everyone else, right? Totally fine, but this is too far.
Yes, I lied. I was using like I'm not going to say a loophole, but
I love this. I used a loophole in my relationship with my partner
Yes.
to not describe what actually happened.
And somebody pegged that she's the kind of person that does this in our comments. They said in the car when she was talking to Marie, she said, I'm gonna say no. She didn't say, no, I did not hook up with her. No, I did not fuck her. She said, I'm going to say no. Which is, again, her technicalities. She goes around and bullshits people and lies and says, technically, I didn't.
Well, and you
Gray
can,
area.
You can do that all day long. Like, you can find loopholes all day long. Like, is that a good way to live your life? Is that an honest way to live your life? In my opinion, no.
Makes you destructive to the people in your life.
I think there's even a point where we were just like, we're just going to make dumb decisions and regret it later.
It's so you're literally fucking with people's lives, dude. Like,
It's
dumb
selfish.
decisions, but like, you're almost 30. You're hurting people. Like, this is not okay. How does Mel feel about the fact that Dana lied to her by saying that she forgot that it was her and Megan that were supposed to get the matching tattoos? Like, how does Mel feel about that is the thing that I want to know.
I want to roll back every fucking lie told on here and ask them
Totally.
to explain how they're lying to our faces and to the camera and to their partners and justify it. So you forgot that you didn't forget? Is that how that happened? When you were telling the camera 2 days previous?
There seemed to be one common place for comfort, the love that you had for your fur babies.
They're gonna talk about fur babies now? I don't fucking
This
care
is
about these
so
people's
freaking
pets,
stupid.
dude. Come on, man.
This is a thing that matters a lot to the person that I love. So, like, why am I not embracing that?
Yeah, I love that mentality
I do
because
too.
like she doesn't have to suddenly care deeply about it.
Especially if you don't feel strongly and another person feels strongly, why not just defer to them?
Totally.
Do we have a wedding date?
So we don't have a wedding date.
I'm just kind of staring like I'm listening, but
I just don't care about any of this. Like, I think we've been silently staring for I don't know how long because I just don't care.
I'm not trying to shade their relationship at all. Obviously, we're not.
We're not talking about the stuff, though, man. There's stuff happened.
How much stuff are we gonna let slide?
Like, I wanna hear about how Haley feels about the fact that Megan totally did a 180 after they had a sexual relationship. I want to know how Pilar feels that they've been together forever, and Haley went and had sex with somebody else.
Megan, how did you go from telling Dana that you were in love with those words, I am in love with Haley, to saying to Haley, I never said those words to you?
Totally.
What occurred between that and how many days passed? How is your memory that malleable?
This one incident that we had clouded that entire experience.
I was like selfish.
Kyle, you don't have to take all the responsibility.
I really wish we could have just been like, there's clearly chemistry here, but we want to be here to better ourselves for our partner.
I feel like Kyle expressed that, though, and Pilar wasn't open to the idea that she crossed a boundary that she wasn't fully clear about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that Pilar maliciously crossed a boundary.
Yeah, I agree.
But she did, and I do feel like in Kyle's way, she had said it. So I don't know why Kyle
has to be wholly responsible.
Right.
Yeah, which is kind of what we're acting like.
The vibes of this, too, make it feel like Pilar is saying, and I don't necessarily think this is true, but it feels like she's saying, like, I wish it had never happened. And it's like, so you wish Kyle had not expressed her actual feelings towards you after what happened? Like, I'm glad that Kyle stood up for herself and said, like, I don't want this.
And I'm also glad that they're able to get past it and then orient the way that their relationship is going to go.
I think Pilar still feels bad about what happened, and then instead of taking any accountability for her part in it, she is very comfortable with Kyle just apologizing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Having that blow up and then having you be like, no, we're going to work through this. It really did. Sorry. Kyle, can I hug you?
I'm glad that they're okay now, but I still feel like Kyle is taking too much responsibility for what happened. I'm glad she spoke up and said something.
Yeah.
I'm glad that she pushed herself to do that, even though she was uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah. And then if it's something that wasn't communicated, then you have to communicate it.
Sure.
And then the other person has to accept it. If it was communicated, like Kyle said it was previously, then you have to reflect on the fact that you maybe pushed too far.
Yeah. Or like you didn't understand. And like, why did I not understand? Like, how can I approach things differently?
It's just like, damn, like this was so important at one point. And, now it's like gone.
Well, when you're an absolute bullshitter, then that's what happens. So
why don't we take a look at how Dana and Megan have been building their life together?
No,
Let's
I don't
not.
know. What?
I'm not showing
Why?
this. I don't give a crap.
I don't want to see this. I'm just annoyed, man. I'm so annoyed with the amount that like Mel and Dana both lied during this experience and the lack of accountability that we're like holding them to. Like, I'm very frustrated.
Yeah.
Also, how Megan treated Haley. How is this where we're at? Like, I'm just confused. But it's whatever.
Seeing her like believe in herself is like really all I've ever wanted for her.
They spoke so poorly about their partners behind their backs. Like, I know it would be cruel, but like,
play those
couldn't
clips.
We just have like a montage of all of the absolute like gnarly bullshit they said about each other behind their backs? Like, I would love that. I would truly, like, how are we sitting here wanting to celebrate everyone's love without acknowledging like how cruel they were to each other?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I'm supposed to be happy now, but you showed me a whole bunch of clips. How could I be happy?
I get it wasn't the fairy tale that you wanted them to see, but it actually shows that you guys have what it takes to make it.
Does it show that? Is that what we saw? What the absolute fuck, man? This is not the right person for this job.
No, terrible. Okay, but my problem is that when you're pacifying people that are in like unhealthy relationships and that harm each other and harm other people, and then you're saying, well, you're in it, you have what it takes to make it, then all the people watching this that aren't seeing and smelling the bullshit think that this is a love that's worth fighting for when it is not. People are modeling their lives and understanding what's acceptable and not acceptable when they watch crap on screens. That's why we talk about this stuff.
I didn't want to take away all of the, like, love that was there. I'm sorry for that.
Megan apologized to Haley at least.
The whole thing just got twisted around into something, like, ugly.
That was Dana.
I'm proud of how we came back together and how we showed up for each other.
And I think Pilar and Haley should be really proud of that.
They should be proud of each other.
Absolutely.
Really?
There was the opportunity there for them to ask the question that you had asked of Megan, which is like, how do you go from telling your partner you are in love with someone to the seemingly the next day telling this other person that it never happened, you were never in love with them.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened.
Yeah. Did you actually believe him when you were saying it, or were you trying to
Right.
convince her of it?
Right.
Like
why did things change so drastically?
You guys handled it amazingly.
Yeah.
You guys have been
never
such
felt-
great friends.
And this is like, so I'm supposed to just believe that this is sincere after we watched her and Mel snickering in the corner while Megan and Haley were talking, like just kind of like delighting in other people's displeasure and discomfort. We're supposed to just sit here and be like, oh no, clearly this is sincere. Clearly she actually thinks this.
I just want some
did
freaking
she say something
answers because we just got real angry watching all this stuff and then we get nothing. The most animosity was between Marita and Ashley, which makes no sense. And also they're not asking Marie any questions. I know Marie is angry. I know she's
basically
sitting on the
cut her out
sidelines
at this
angry,
point.
but right, like we're barely
Yeah.
even seeing her. They're not giving her any space.
Did they edit her out at this point? Is she
I
over here
almost-
talking and they stopped showing clips of her?
I almost feel like they told her to shut up.
Yeah,
is
right?
the vibes that I get. Because she was like coming in hot. And then now they're actually talking about stuff that has to do with her. And she's not saying shit.
Anything.
You are so different. You're kind of overlooking that, and I think that that's so important.
I think everybody can keep growing and keep evolving.
I agree with AJ, but I think the problem is not admitting the things you did wrong is
Yeah,
not taking accountability. So you can change as much as you want, but
Absolutely.
like the hurt is still going to be there until people say, I am sorry for what I did.
Joanna, before we go, I don't think you get enough credit.
No.
How an amazing host you are, how you show up for us.
No, AJ, stop it.
Stop it. Fluffing the
Stop
fucking
it.
show. Like, fuck that shit. Are you trying to get another, like...
And even though you are a straight presenting woman.
Is she straight presenting or is she straight? Because I haven't heard anything that gives me any indication she has any queerness. And if there is it there, she hasn't shared it with anyone. I'm so sick of these
This is
reunion shows
bullshit.
doing this bullshit. Because what's happened is there are a ton of people that have called out the fact that the host is not queer, including like big publications like them, that are,
Yeah.
like, kind of like
Okay.
online.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You know,
I know
like,
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know them. I do.
And people agree that it should be a queer host. It is nothing against this person. It doesn't mean that she's not sweet. It doesn't mean she's
Yeah.
not a good host.
Yeah.
This is not the show for her to host. It doesn't mean she's a bad person. I don't know why they need to address it like this.
I really feel like such an ally, and I believe so much in love.
I believe she's an ally. Cool. There are spaces for allies. Don't think hosting the Queer Ultimatum is the place for an ally. I don't think that's
Yeah.
a job for an ally. I think that's a job for a queer person. Why is that offensive?
And we're going to wax poetic about how amazing she is. I don't care.
I do think it's probably because she feels bad because people are like, she shouldn't be the host. But I haven't personally seen anything rude about her as a person. It's just the fact that it doesn't make sense for her to be the host. It's not that there's anything wrong with her. I hate this, man. I hate this. This is so stupid. There are plenty of actors who've admitted in hindsight that they shouldn't have taken roles because they didn't fit the demographics of the roles that they took, right? So people that have come out and said, I shouldn't have played that trans character because I'm not trans. And this job could have gone to someone who is trans. And because we still have inequities in, media, we should be giving those jobs to people that represent the groups that they're representing, right? Instead of someone like portraying that or pretending to be that.
Prosthetics and like...
Right, while there are still
stolen
queer
identities.
people looking for jobs that have to do with queerness, the host of this should be queer.
It seems like an easy ask.
Right. It's not rude to the straight host to say that like you are probably not the best person for this job. This stuff pisses me off so bad.
And how the show then and the cast took like clearly, it feels like orchestrated time to to then tell the fans that are watching this that we are fucking wrong.
Right.
Is kind of insulting.
Do you know, insulting part isn't like it's wrong, but the insulting part to me is like it's in some way an attack on the character or the like professionalism of the host.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's an
not.
attack on... It's not an attack on anyone, but it's calling out something that the casting and production team have done that is not the best choice for the audience of the show.
They
like,
hired her to put her out there. I know she applied for a job or whatever, but I don't even know if it was a specific show or just a hosting gig at Netflix, and we have no insight in any of that.
Right.
But you're right. It's whatever the fuck you just said, man. Man, I'm so mad.
I just like I wish I end up feeling like Netflix hates their viewers.
They
sometimes.
do. It acts like the contempt for viewers.
Yes, and it's
Yeah.
very frustrating because you have shows on right now like Love Island. I think Love Island loves their fucking viewers.
Even the fucking the narrator host
Yes.
makes self-aware jokes all the time. He's like,
Totally.
I can't tell who's who anymore,
Yes.
and like all this crap that people are thinking. I'm watching. I'm like, wow, I was literally thinking that.
Right.
Like they get us.
Yes.
They get people that are watching it.
Totally, they want
and they don't hate their viewers. They
the
do-
audience.
Yeah.
And they very rarely, the only thing I've ever seen Love Island do, which honestly Netflix didn't even do this, which is annoying to me, is say basically like, hey, we're a great fan base, don't bully people, right? Which
I love that.
I love that because the reminder that like these are all real people, like you can take issue with the way that people are showing up, but sometimes things go too far. Like don't bully people. That's the only thing Love Island does. Otherwise, they include their viewers in decisions about who stays on the show, in the jokes that they make, like from time to time. They include their viewers when they're thinking about like when Yulissa got kicked off Love Island this season because she made a racist comment to someone and they just pulled her from the show. You know what I mean? Like Netflix hates their viewers.
They do.
Netflix
They do.
puts every opportunity, whether it's this show or it's one that Vanessa and Nick are hosting. In the reunions, they take jabs at the people watching the show and the frustration and the upset they have with various aspects of the show as if we're stupid. Like you
couldn't
this.
possibly know.
Right. You do this.
Y'all are like whiny. Is
But
the
you
vibe
don't want
you get
the
from
feedback
Netflix.
on it.
Yep.
So you just want to put out content and have people
Slop. They
love
want to put
it.
out slop.
Right.
And get adored for it.
Do you know the annoying thing too? They don't actually care. And there was that huge lawsuit against Netflix that a few of the like Love is Blind contestants pushed forward.
They were wanted to be treated as employees that had rights because they were being mistreated.
Didn't care that they were being endlessly bullied online, right? And we're talking like years after these people's show. They still can't post anything on social media without people coming through and just flooding their comments.
Yeah.
They don't care about
Some
that.
of their cast members have disappeared from society because they're so depressed.
Yeah. They don't care
And
about
afraid of,
they
like-
attacked. Do you remember Cole?
Yeah.
They fucking attacked that man on stage. Then we don't see the actual footage of what happened with the fucking Cuties incident
Until a post
the end.
roll.
You watch him on that show and he is broken down and they're just hitting him on the reunion. And then they give us bullshit like this where there are actually questions that you could ask. And I don't
absolutely.
mean they don't have to interrogate people. They don't have to be angry. Like the energy
Not like
Marie
us.
came with was not great. The energy we're coming with is not great. I get that. Like
We're not productive for like a situation like
right.
this. Yeah.
I'm
not saying I want to
professional.
host it.
No, but like get a host that will ask the questions while not making people feel horrible, but still getting to the meat of the fucking issue that the people that watch the show want to talk about.
What was that South African show we watched that was like it was kind of like this,
right? I know what you're talking
and
about.
I don't remember what it was called, and it's on our channel, and I don't remember what the host's name was, but she fucking
killed it, dude.
She killed it.
Absolutely.
She had fire. She had honesty. She asked hard questions.
Totally.
And that reunion was good then. People asked questions and held people accountable, and they can still have their truth, and they can still walk away the way they want to, but like at least give us something like you're taking this seriously.
Yeah.
And they are not.
I like that about Temptation
Ultimatum.
Island too. Temptation Island was really good with that. What was that host's name? Mark Wahlberg? The good Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, yes.
He was like, you could see, I mean, he even got like choked up a couple of times because you could see how much he cared about the contestants that were
For
there.
such a dumb show.
But he would ask people questions and be like, do you really think that was like the right move? Like, do you really justify what you did here? Like, or, this maybe was not productive. Like, he held people accountable and at the same time was compassionate and actually it feels like cared about the growth of the people.
Yeah.
Having this type of a setup, and I'm not gonna solely blame the host because I don't know how much input they even have into what they're doing, but like having someone like that host a show like this, like you're not pushing for anything, and then you end up with like Marie trying to take control of the show in the beginning because she's actually asking some of the questions that people want to hear. It's just she's not the right person to ask them because she's too involved.
Yeah. So crap reunion. I'm mad. Do we want to double check and see what questions we would have come up with?
I wish that they had asked, you brought this up, I wish they had asked Bridget how Bridget felt about the situation between Kyle and Pilar, especially given that Bridget didn't have any physical relationship with Ashley at all.
Yeah.
So how did she feel about the fact that Kyle kissed someone else? How did she feel about the fact that it didn't seem to be, Kyle seemed to have quite a bit of regret for the situation afterwards.
Yeah.
And it felt like Pilar had ignored the boundary. I wish they'd asked Haley about it too. That would have been nice to get like the partner perspectives. What else? A million things.
I wish we would have spent less time interrogating AJ over flirting with people during a dating show.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to hear Mel's thoughts on the exact clip that we showed, that we repeated, where Dana said that she knew that they were supposed to get a tattoo, but she didn't care. I want people to question Dana on her lies.
I wish they'd asked Marie how Marie felt after seeing how poorly Mel was talking about her to Dana.
Yeah.
And then how much effort Marie was putting in at the same time to like try and do everything for Mel and like be there for her as a partner. Like, how do you reconcile seeing that later?
Let's ask Mel what she means by living like I feel like I'm fucking crazy for the last 4 years. What do you mean by that? Was that an honest thing, or are you just saying whatever you thought that Dana wanted to hear? Like, so what is the behavior? Because if Marie, and somebody actually said this, somebody in our comments was like, there's a chance that Marie is a lot more intense and harder to live with than we're seeing, because there's some intensity and fire in that reunion. There's a possibility that she's contributing to a more of an unhealthy relationship than we're seeing if Mel's words are true. Yeah. Problem is we're seeing Mel lie left and right too. Totally. So I want to know what it is that is so unhealthy about your relationship that you'd be saying that about her, or were you just blowing smoke?
I want the question too of why Mel decided to propose after having a conversation with Dana immediately before that, where it seemed like she was very unsure of whether or not she wanted to get married. Why did you immediately then go and propose to Marie? And then to Marie, does that still feel like, did that feel genuine to you after you saw how it actually went down? I wish they would ask Megan,
whatever. Megan to us.
Whatever. No. I'm sorry, I don't hear a difference.
It's okay.
I mean, obviously I do hear a micro difference, otherwise I wouldn't repeat it, but it's not enough for me. But anyway, I wish they would ask Megan how she feels about how Dana was talking to Mel and then immediately went and talked to her. Like, did she feel like she was getting openness and honesty from Dana, or were there things that she saw when she watched the show that she didn't anticipate or that were like upsetting to her?
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah.
This is so annoying because think about the way they handled that Trevor situation on Love is Blind, right? So Trevor on Love is Blind,
horrible.
Right. He
Awful.
has a whole other life. He's being really rude to the women he's dating behind the scenes. He's lying on the show. They came prepared with clips, right? Like they had clips that they showed to everyone and then said, how do you explain this? How do you justify this? Like, what is your, what's your explanation for this? They didn't do any of that on this. Why? Yeah. There were plenty of clips that show the lies. Why didn't you show those clips and then ask people to respond to them? Why instead are we sitting down and being like, you guys are engaged, when are you getting married? No one cares,
No
man.
one cares.
No one cares. That's not what we care about. It really isn't.
Now, I'm so mad, and I want to tone it back and say that, like, as frustrated as I am, I don't want, like we talked about, bullying or anything to follow these people in their life. I don't like that.
That's part of why I'm mad, because the reality is this is the last, in my opinion, this is the last opportunity we get to have these questions answered. This is the last opportunity we get to see that accountability, because for me, it does end here. And I totally agree. Don't bully these people. If you really don't like these people, don't go on their Instagram and like say inflammatory things to them. Just let them be.
Save your hate for people that are making our lives worse every day. Not some people you watch on TV. They're just TV show people.
Just a
and
TV show.
It's their lives they're fucking up.
Totally, absolutely. Yes, they're hurting each other, right? So like let's let it go. But that is what pisses me off, because, and not from the people, I don't expect any of these people to show up and talk about their worst moments in ways that are going to satisfy an audience, which is why I think it's incumbent upon production and the people making the show to ask the questions that are going to get you know, like the answers that we're all looking for. Maybe it
It
would
should
make
be a
us
bow.
happy still,
Maybe not
but
perfect, but it should be some sort of fucking
Right.
present that we're getting here.
I really don't understand this. Like, I really don't. I don't know why they keep putting out these garbage reunions. And you see how to do a good reunion, so why do you keep doing it so poorly?
That other show was on Netflix, but it was obviously a different production crew. South
Yeah,
Africa,
totally.
different cast,
Yeah.
like people that actually gave a shit. People with like humanity and community. Like,
Yeah.
instead we see the cesspool that whatever the fuck this was.
Well, and it's almost weird because it almost sets up a situation where you're more angry at the participants than you need to be too.
Yeah.
So it's actually bad. It's bad for the audience. It's bad for the participants.
I agree.
It's bad for the host because I think people are
She's
still
getting
going to be
dragged.
frustrated, right? And she's
I was
still
mad
gonna
at
keep
her
getting
in this
dragged.
because I'm like, what the fuck are you asking?
Right.
Like maybe it's misplaced. I absolutely acknowledge that, but I was mad at her in this.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because it really comes down to like the show is like the bad guy, but then because there is no one
Yeah,
representing the
totally.
show, then it's like
They
the
all
people on the
become-
show are representatives of the
Yeah.
show, and then we're mad at them.
It's throwing them to the wolves so that the show and the
Right.
production has no accountability.
Yeah.
And so Netflix has no accountability. Just go ahead and attack these people viciously and let us walk away with
Yeah.
all that cash
Right.
while you fucking fight with these people that are just trying to get some Insta followers.
That's another thing, and I hate bringing up Andy Cohen because he's problematic in a way,
Yeah.
but that's the other thing I actually like about that is that he is a production for a
Yeah.
lot of like the Housewives shows
He's the
and
one.
for Bravo, right? He is the face of Bravo, so when you're mad about a reunion that he has hosted, it is him.
Yeah.
And in that way,
There's
I do
accountability there.
Right.
in
And
a
he
way.
steps up to that and he will speak on that publicly and he'll respond to people's comments publicly. And it does take some of the heat then off of the rest of the production crew. It takes some
Yeah.
of the heat off of the people participating in the show because if he doesn't ask the right questions, you know exactly where to go, and it's Andy Cohen. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know exactly who to complain to. And here, I don't know who to complain to.
Yeah.
I have nowhere to put my complaints.
So instead we're fighting with people that just like lived a mess on live TV,
Yeah.
and then we're fighting with the host, and then because we have nowhere for that frustration to
Yeah, the frustration goes nowhere, right?
go. Yeah.
Then that's just
So we lash out what's closest.
You see,
Kind of like Marie, lashing out at whatever's closest in that
Yeah.
moment because she's pissed off. We are Marie
Yeah,
right now.
It sucks
in a
because
way.
like watching Marie show up like that, I'm like, man, like show up better, man. Like this is your opportunity. Like we all felt for you. We're all on your page, and then you show up like a jackass. But I mean,
How
guess
can you
I
expect
see
her
that.
to be so much better than the
Right.
shit that she's been thrown in?
Yeah, totally.
Like-
And you can see why, like, the frustration is there. Like, you see how she was treated on the show, and then they gave her no platform on this, really, to
None,
talk
really.
about anything important. And
Did they ask her any questions at a certain point?
I think she was popping off too much, so they
and so they just
didn't-
look. We're
they
gonna
wanted to
pretend you
shut it
don't
down.
exist, and then we're gonna move on.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I got.
Yeah.
And if I was her, I would be incredibly frustrated. I think it was counterproductive the way she showed up because but I don't know that she would have gotten any more airtime or any more. Do you know what I mean? Because it seemed like they just wanted to wrap it up like, oh, look at all the happy couples, and like that's not Marie's reality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but they let Marita like verbally abuse Ashley
Yes.
on
Yes.
stage. Like they let her yell stuff that was like completely inappropriate at Ashley, and then they didn't give Marie really a chance to talk at all about the situation with Mel because why? She was irritated? Like what?
I think the Brussels sprouts thing too is like it felt so out of place and weird, and then people are like laughing and mocking it, but it comes from a place of being lied to and bullshitted and all that crap for how long?
Totally.
So then you're like every little thing. What's going on in her head is like, how many lies were there? Everything.
Yeah.
Everything was a fucking
Everything
lie.
was a lie.
And she's like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like, and it's funny too because then they're also mocking the playlist thing, right? They're all laughing and mocking about the playlist. Oh, that's your proof. Haha. We were totally fucking, by the way, but that's your proof.
Right.
The Brussels sprouts is a thing that was personal that she brought to Mel that Mel gave to another woman.
Yeah.
You know, and we're gonna sit here and laugh about it,
right?
And say that her feelings aren't sincere. That's the outlet. Because her whole world is so fucking blown up in bullshit and lies that every little thing feels like a nuclear explosion.
Totally.
And to not like honor that, the reality that Maria's living in that situation, we saw Mel say horrible things about her.
Yeah.
If not true. especially horrible things. If true, we need to talk about that, but we have no accountability being done here by the show and by these people. So I don't have anything else to go off of.
Right.
Yeah, and then they blow up about Brussels sprouts, because what else do you have?
You're right.
You're just pissed.
It actually is. Like, I didn't think about it as much while it was happening, because I was like, why are you bringing up the Brussels sprouts? But the reality is Marie's so hurt, and there's so many hurts, right? It's like this whole, I'm sure, because I've been in like not exactly like that, right? But I've been in positions where like my emotions are so high that I can't really communicate what I'm trying to communicate. And the whole laundry list of stuff is flowing through your head. And it's like you just grab one thing that is hurtful to you, and you're hoping that that is going to be the thing that allows other people to see like, oh, wow, this was really hurtful, and maybe dig into that more. And instead it's like, because she grasps at the wrong thing that was personal to her but doesn't mean anything to anyone else, then she's made a mockery of.
And then Mel's like laughing over there after like saying awful things about her and lying to her face over and over, and even proposing to her when you know that she would not have had Dana said let's run away together.
I know.
And then Mel gets Marie gets made the fool.
Yeah.
After all of the insults that she took.
I know. It's awful.
It's awful. That was bullshit. My feet are sweating. I need to. Should we go? Is this it? I don't know. We probably have more questions. Throw your questions down below in the comments if you want.
What else
the questions you would have asked. I know that, and here's the problem too. Some questions you really can't ask in a setting like this without like getting super invasive. And I get that, but at the same time, then like, what the fuck are we even doing here?
The show is invasive.
The show is invasive.
So
like you talked about the Temptation Island.
If the show is comfortable showing,
you're right.
Dana's like naked top half.
You're right.
From like a fucking like a
security camera, hidden security camera,
right? Yeah. Hidden camera footage. If they're comfortable showing that on TV, then we should be comfortable asking whatever question they need to ask to get to whatever truth they need to get to. And if a contestant doesn't want to ask or doesn't want to answer something, then I think we need to normalize them just saying, I'd prefer not to talk about that, and then they can move on. But at least the attempt would have been made. At least a question is asked.
Right. Yeah, so throw us your questions down below. All right, like and subscribe. All right, thank you. Bye.
And then I got it knocked, and I started going,
ridiculous.
All those tearjerker.
Hey, we're going to go on a cruise this summer. You should come with us.